Good. Before I start, am I visible? Am I audible? Is my screen visible? Three questions. Am I audible? Am I visible? Is my screen visible? So
Yes,
Yes,
someone,
sir.
all right, perfect.
Yes,
So let us start. Okay. So let me open my book, regular expressions. So this is the, as usual, we will start with the learning objectives. Let me start with the learning objectives. Okay. So there are 9 learning objectives in this session, in this chapter on regular expressions. We will talk about LO1 is why do we need regular expression? Very simple. So for searching and for matching, we'll talk about that. Understanding the concept of special characters or meta characters in regular expressions. So we'll talk about what is called the meta characters in regular expressions. This is LO number 2. Start of the string anchor and end of the string anchor. So we'll be talking about these two concepts of string anchors, the start of the string anchor and the end of the string anchor. Then explain the two distinct use of RE module, namely number 1, RE as RE.compile and RE module as convenience functions. So we'll talk about two different ways in which the RE, by the way, RE, this is the Python module for regular expressions, or this, which is also called regex. Regex or regular expressions. So the module for Python is RE. Yeah. Okay. Just let me clear the screen and do it again. So we have talked about the need. We'll talk about the need. We'll talk about special characters. We'll talk about string anchors. We'll talk about the two distinct ways of using the RE module. Then we'll differentiate between pattern object and match object. So since we have already done object-oriented programming, so object should be, I hope, clear to you guys by now. So then we'll be talking about the various functions, re.match, re.search, re.findAll, and re.sub, which is the substitute method. So we'll talk about these 4 methods and some more methods also. Appreciate that in regular expression module, there are functions of the RE module and methods of the pattern object, which may have the same name but different signatures. Example, there is a re.search and a pattern. We'll talk about this. Don't get too much worried about this LO7. And leave it for the moment. We'll talk about it. Use the group, start, and span methods of the match object. This will talk about LO number 8. Differentiate between greedy and non-greedy matching. This is LO number 9. So these are the 9 LOs which are given in the chapter. Apart from these LOs, there is one very interesting, there's another, we can call it LO number 10, which is given in the beyond textbook section of my book, which is called look around assertions. Look around assertions. So if we get time, we can do it. And if the class wants, we can do it. This is a slightly advanced concept of look around assertions. We can do it. We can skip it. I think somebody is having his mic on. Please, can you all be on mute so that we don't get disturbed. I have no problem if somebody wants to ask a question, but people should not make unintended interruptions. That means keeping their mic on and doing things. So let us move ahead. All right. So let us move ahead. So regular expressions are also called REs or regex patterns. REs are used to match patterns. Using RE, you can do the following things. Given a pattern, you can find its occurrence in a given string. Given a string, find out if it matches a given pattern, the reverse. You can also use REs to modify a string or to split it in various ways. So basically, to do any regex operation, you need two things. You need a pattern and you need a given string. Given string. So pattern is what you're looking for. What you're looking for. And given string is what you're looking in. For example, if you have a sentence that the cat sat on the mat, this is the given string, and the pattern is cat, then you can look for cat in that given string. So you need two things, a pattern and a given string. Basically, let me repeat, in programming, and especially in your life, as I understand, you guys are going to be basically into hacking and downloading data from the net and all those things. So you may like to do a lot of pattern matching. For example, suppose you're looking for say mail IDs in a date of 1,000 words. So you need to have something at the rate something else, right? So this pattern you can generate using regexes, and then you can use that regex to locate the email IDs and so many other things. We'll talk about that. So with that brief introduction, let us start. Okay. First thing is the concept of regular expression. I had explained, I think, this to you. Python interpreter interprets this thing as an escape character in literal strings. That means there are two things, literal strings and raw strings. So literal strings, just one sec. So we have what is called a literal string, literal, L-I-T-E-R-A, literal, and we have what is called a raw string. I showed it to you the last time, but let me just show it to you again. Let me just open my browser. So let me open a new listing. You see, somebody's again not putting his mic off. I am. Can everybody please be on mute? Unless so. So I said, suppose I have a. Suppose we have this, and I do. So what you can just see, this is an example of a literal string. Now I have the string, hi there, and there is a \n inside the string. Now the Python interpreter will understand that this \n stands for a new line. That is why it has put this hi and the there in two different lines. It has put a new line after this. But suppose I did the same thing with a again somebody's So you can see now the difference between the two. In this case, I have made it a raw string by putting an R in front of it. So now the interpreter is assuming that it will ignore this backslash as a special character. Harish K, can you please put yourself on mute? Mr. Harish, can you put yourself on mute, please? Mr. Harish K. Mr. Harish K, if you can hear me, please put yourself on mute. You are disturbing the entire class. Please, Mr. Harish. Okay. So, okay. So I think we have understood the difference between a literal string and a raw string. Let's move ahead. And this example is given. You can try this out. And now let us talk about the concept of regular expressions. A regular expression is simply some means to write down a pattern describing some text. So what is regular expression? It is some way of creating a pattern. Regexes are used for four main purposes. So what are the, why do we use regex? It is important to know the purpose of the library before understanding the library or before understanding the modules. There's no point in just walking to some path without knowing where you are going. So that is why you must know why regexes are important. Number one, validation or checking. See whether a part of the text fulfills some criteria. For instance, if it is an email ID, then does it have a at character in it? Agar email ID hai, to usme ye character hona chahiye. All email IDs have the at character in it. Similarly, searching. Searching can be for a fixed string or for string which may have variable forms. For instance, in British English, it is color, COLOUR, but in American English, it is color. So can you write a regex which can locate both color with the British spelling, COLOUR, and color with the English spelling, which is COLOR. Sorry, American, which is COLOR, right? Searching and replacing. This is a very common thing used in MS Word and all, where you're replacing this thing. So all replacements, basically what you're doing, you're using regular expressions and then splitting of the strings. So let me just repeat. So first is validation, second is searching, third is replacing, and fourth is splitting. Validation, searching, replacing, and splitting. So these are the four major ways in which the regular expressions are used. Okay. A regular expression is some special sequence of characters which helps you to match other strings. A regular expression may be a simple string containing ordinary characters, or it may contain special characters or meta characters. So there are two possibilities. A regular expression, that means the pattern you're trying to match in a string, will become clear very shortly, don't worry. It may contain either the simple ordinary characters, or it may contain what are called the special characters or meta characters. Special or meta characters. Meta characters. So let's talk about these special or meta characters. Let's talk about them. Okay, the first step in understanding regular expressions is to understand the three things: understanding special characters in forming patterns, matching groups of characters, and anchors. Let us talk about these three things: special characters, matching groups. So we'll talk about special characters. So special characters on their own, special characters, then groups. Oh shit. Then groups of characters, and then finally anchors. So let us talk about special characters. This is the topic on special characters. Regular expression can have both ordinary as well as special characters. So there can be two types of characters: ordinary characters or special characters. So what are ordinary characters? Characters such as A or A, small a, capital A, 1, or any combination of them are ordinary characters. So these are all ordinary characters: 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, D, 0. These are all ordinary characters. And regular expressions can be created using ordinary characters also. So that means when you're creating a pattern which you want to match in a string, that pattern can also be created by ordinary characters or by special characters. Such regular expressions will only match with themselves. For instance, a regular expression containing the ordinary character boa will match board, boat, boast, and so on. So if you have a regular expression consisting of these three characters, boa. So these are all These are all ordinary characters or regular characters. So this can match with board. This can match with, a boat, like that. So it cannot match with anything other than BOA. So this is the characteristic of ordinary characters, that they can only match with themselves. All right. And what are the special meta characters such as pipe or brackets? These are special characters. They represent classes of ordinary characters or change the behavior of other characters around them. So they can do two things. They can represent the classes of ordinary characters. We'll talk about these classes of ordinary characters. Don't get worried. Just listen to what I'm saying, and very soon I'll give you examples, and things will become very, very clear. So special characters can consist of classes of ordinary characters, or they can change the behavior of other characters around them. So this is the characteristic of special character. Further, RE can be used to match either individual characters or group of characters. So regular expressions can be used to match not only ordinary characters, individual characters, but also groups of characters. Okay. In Python, following is the complete list of meta characters or special characters. This is the complete list. Full stop, caret, dollar, asterisk, plus, question mark, then curly brackets, square brackets, backslash, pipe, and round brackets. So let me just go over them once again. Somebody again is, I don't know, somebody is refusing to go on a mute and creating some noise. I don't know. Let me just. It is Sharmila Sahu. Can Sharmila Sahu please, Sharmila Sahuji, can you please stop disturbing the class, and can you please not you'll be on this thing? So because you are disturbing, and that disturbs the flow of the class. So Sharmila Sahu, please. Okay. So this is the list. I will repeat. This is this is that full stop, caret, dollar, asterisk, plus, question mark, curly brackets, square brackets, backslash, pipe, and round brackets. So these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So these are the 11 special characters in Python. These are the 11 special characters in Python. We'll talk about that, don't worry. So let us talk about first the square brackets. Square brackets represent a character class. That is, they stand for a set of characters. Oh God, somebody, I don't know. Somebody's, anyway. So character class stands for a set of characters you want to match. All right. So for example, you can enclose individual characters inside them. For example, A, B, C. So if you write A, B, C, it will match these three characters, A, B, and C, right? So this square brackets is being used to enclose the characters A, B, or C, right? They may also include a range of characters with a hyphen. So you could write, for example, A to Z. So this would mean all the alphabets of the English language. So this square bracket here is representing the class of characters, which is all small letters from small a to small z. And if you write this A, Z, A, Z, then this would represent the class of all characters, English language, small from A to Z and capital from capital A to capital Z. Similarly, if you write A, Z, capital A to capital Z, 0 to 9, this would represent all alphabet A to Z, capital A to Z, as well as digits, Roman digits from 0 to 9. This will become clear. So don't get worried. So let's talk about this square brackets again. So square brackets can be used in two ways. Either they can contain the characters individually. Suppose you can have X, A, B. So this will contain three characters, or you can have a range of characters A to C, or maybe A to Z, or maybe 0 to 5, like that.
Sir,
So
I
this,
want to ask something, sir.
yeah. Yes,
Sir, in this 0 to 5, it will include 0 and 5 both, or does
both.
it exclude?
No, included. Both are included.
So
This
it's
is
not
not.
like the range and index where the
No,
last
no,
one
no,
is exclusive.
no, no,
Okay.
no, no, no.
It
It's not
includes
like
both.
that. It includes both. It
Thank you,
includes.
sir.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the two ways in which the square bracket can be used. Now let's talk about caret. So caret can be used in two different ways. The first is by using inside the square brackets, and the other is by using the outside the square brackets. So if I use it inside the square brackets, if I say caret A, it means not A. That means this regular expression will match everything except an A. So if I write caret AB, then it will match everything except a A and a B. And if I write caret A to Z, it will not match any of the small English alphabet, like the alphabet, right? So that is what it means. This is out inside the caret, inside the class, right? Inside the character class. The other is outside the character class. Outside the character class matches the beginning of a line. So therefore, if you write Tom, this will match the beginning of a line which starts with Tom. So if you have a line Tom goes and you have a pattern Tom, if you have a line Tom goes, then this Tom will match this line. But if you say he is Tom, if you write he is Tom, then this will not match this line because this line is not beginning with Tom, it is beginning with he. This will become clear, but just understand that these are the two ways in which the caret is used. So we have discussed the two ways in which the square brackets are used, and we have discussed the two ways in which the caret is used. Now come to backslash. So backslash in RES two distinct uses. It has again got two uses. It is used to escape all the meta characters. This situation will arise when you want a meta character. You want to match a meta, you don't want to treat it as a meta character. For example, you want to match your caret inside the text. So you don't want this caret to behave like the beginning of the sentence. Rather, you want to behave like the caret to behave like a caret, then you will put a backslash behind it. So if you put this, then this caret will be treated as a caret character rather than caret special character. I hope that is clear. Will make sense. We'll understand. Then you can proceed. For example, if you want to match a backslash, then you have to proceed with another backslash. Suppose you want the backslash to be there in your text. So you put two backslashes, and this first backslash, that is the one on the left, will escape the second backslash. That means it will treat the second backslash as a backslash and not as a special character, right? So I've explained there are some special sequences which begin with the backslash and indicate some special meaning. For example, backslash D is any of the digits 0 to 9. Therefore, you can say backslash D is the same as 0-9. With this, we'll discuss all this, but just understand. So I've spoken about three. Spoken about three special characters. I've spoken about square brackets. I've spoken about caret, and I've spoken about backslash. So these things I've covered. Let's move ahead. Any questions so far? Anyone? Okay.
Sir, this backslash is also to be used inside the square brackets only.
No, you can use inside the square bracket or outside the square bracket. Depends upon you.
Right, right, sir, right, sir.
Okay. So apart from that, I told you that backslash is, if you use backslash s, there are certain, these are some of the ways in which backslash can be used. For example, backslash s will match any white space. You have to either you have to remember it or you have to keep the table in front of you whenever you are doing your programming. Or capital S is the opposite of backslash s. So capital S backslash will match anything that is not a white space, which is equivalent to character class, not this thing, backslash t, backslash n, backslash f, and backslash v. So backslash t is tab, backslash n is new line, backslash f I think is feed, and these are all basically all carriage returns or tabs. So this is equal to your capital S.
अच्छा बोलो.
Somebody is again disturbing us. I don't know. Can
हाँ जी बेटा.
no, we can't go on like this. We have to have everybody on mute, because if we somebody anyway, let's move ahead. So then we have backslash d, which is used to match any of the 10 decimal digits 0 to 9. Then backslash capital D is the opposite of backslash small d. Then backslash small w, let me just clear it out and again write it. So backslash small w stands for this. That means A to Z, capital A to capital Z, 0 to 9. So this is equal to your backslash W. And your backslash capital W, backslash capital W, this is equal to caret of A to Z, capital A to capital Z, 0 to 9. That means none of these. All right. So we'll talk about this. Then we have the pipe or the alternation. It is equal to the OR operator. And if x and y are two regular expressions, then x pipe y will match any of these things, either x or y. So if we have A pipe B, then it can be A or B, right? And the dot operator matches any character except a new line. So you can say that dot is anything but a new line, right? So this is, I have explained to you the various backslash characters. So we have covered, so let me just repeat, we have covered square brackets, we have covered caret, we have covered, no, we have not covered star. What else did we cover? Then we have covered caret, backslash, yes, we have covered backslash, and we have covered we have covered alternation, and we have covered dot. Okay. Now, apart from that, there can be certain groups of characters. So these, what we have discussed so far, will match only individual characters. That means that if you had something like A dash Z, this will match one character either from A to Z, either any of the characters from A to Z, but only one character. All right. If you want to match multiple characters, how to do it, that we will tell you now. That is matching groups of characters. Matching groups of characters. That means matching the characters to be matched. They are in group. And when I'm writing group of matches, then I'm saying the possible characters which are to be matched. And when I'm saying groups of characters, I mean how many characters are to be matched. Just understand that the difference between the two, I hope it is clear. We'll and don't worry, if you don't understand also, we'll talk about it. star is used to specify that the previous character will be matched 0 or more times. That means if you have A, B, star, then any sentence which is not containing A or B or containing A or B as many times will be matched. That means it will match A, it will match B, it will match AA, it will match AAA, it will match any combination of A and B. So it will become clear. In my book, I've given this example. For example, SP star N, SP star N, right? So the previous character is SP O star N. This is given as, suppose this is your pattern. So this will match the previous character 0 times to infinite number of times, 0 to infinite. So it will match SPN because that is no 0. It will match SPON 10. It will match SPOON 2 zeros. It will even match SP 3 zeros, 4 zeros, like that. So that is the advantage of a star. 0 or it can 0 or more times. So star can match 0 or more times. Then comes plus. Plus matches 1 or more times.
Sir, one thing here.
Yes.
In case of this SPON, if I am putting a star in between,
Yes.
how the maximum number of characters can we put in between limit will be defined? That will be.
See,
This
star is modifying the pattern by looking at the previous character. So if there are 0 instances of character in the pattern, in the string in which you're looking for, see, this is the pattern SP O star N. This is the pattern you're looking for in a string. So if a string has SPN, then this string will also match because this string has got a 0 instance of the character O. And by chance, if this string had SPON, also it will match. If it had SPOON, also it will match. What is the question now? You asked me. I have not understood your question. Come again.
Sir, let me say from the leftmost side of the page, I have started SP.
Right.
And then there is for a star, I am putting up O till the end of the line. I go to the next line. I keep writing O till 3 lines and then write N.
Yeah, it will match.
It will match.
So if you put a new line, then it will not match.
It will terminate at new line.
No, yeah. Because then this pattern SP O star N is not contained in that what you're saying, as you're saying SP like that, and you put a new line, and then you put O, and then you put an N. So between this O, there's something else is there, right? So if you put a new line, this thing over here, if you put, I think it is \N, then it will match this. So if you put, we'll check SP O, check it out, \N, and then N. But then this will not match because of this backslash. It will not match then SPON because this doesn't have a new line in it. We'll do it. You see, this is a matter of practice. Just understand the concept. We'll do it. Don't worry. So I hope I've answered your question. So star was for 0 or more, 0 to infinity. Plus was from 1 to infinity. And then M. Then we are talking, this is now curly brackets M. So exactly M times. That means M repetition. So if you have curly bracket 3, if you have curly bracket, if you have this thing 3, and you write SPON, this will only match SPON OOON. It will not match SPOON because it has got only two O's in it. So we will do examples of this, and I'm sure it will become clear. Then the next is M, comma N, where M must be less than N. So if you write SP 0, 3 to N, this will match SPN. This will match SPO. This will match SPN. This will match SPON. This will match SPOON. This will also match SPOON. But it will not match SP 4 times O, and this it will not match this. It will match this. It will match this. It will match this. It will match this. So that is the that is the that is the thing of. And one thing I left out, that is question mark. It matches 1 or 0 times. So question mark will match 0 or 1. All right. So if you have SP question mark if you have SPO question mark N, it will match SPN and it will also match SPON. But it will not match SPOON. It will not match with this. This it will not match. Okay. So okay, don't get worried. And then you can have this M and N left out also.
Sir, one question.
Yeah.
Sir, then previously you have said one example with color, right?
Yes.
American English, British English. So in that case, we can use question mark for you.
Yes.
We can do that.
That's yes, excellent. Yes. So what you're let me repeat the question for everyone. So what you're saying that there is color. You want to match color and color, right? So you can do COLOU question mark R. So this will match this also. This will match this also. That is right. You are right, because then you 0 instance of U or 1 instance of U will be there, right? Okay.
Yes,
All right.
sir. Thank you, sir.
And you can also do it. You can also do it COLOU 0, 1 R. You can also do like this. This will also match COLOR or COLOUR. So there can be more than one ways of coming out with the same regular expression. So I've made a diagram. So star, this is there in my book, means 0 or more times plus at least once. Question mark 0 or 1. M, exactly M to N. So note that these are curly brackets. This cannot be square bracket. If it is this, then it will match with M. And if it is like, for example, if it is 3, it will match with 3. But if it is 3, it will match 3 times 3, the previous character. So this difference should be known. Okay. Okay. So apart from this, there is a concept of called string anchor. Start of string and end of the string. These are called string anchors. So anchors, there is a concept of what is called an anchor in regular expressions. So what are anchors? The anchors are that give a certain position. So anchors don't match any character, but they only look for certain positions. For examples, they could be the start of a string or the end of a string. Anchors are regex tokens and they don't match any character. This will become clear. Don't worry. We have not done any example. So you guys, in case you're thinking that we are lost, you won't be lost. Just a few minutes more and little bit of theory. And then we go to the practical. On the other hand, they assert something about the matching process. For example, if you want to match a particular location, such as the beginning of a string or beginning of a line, then you can use anchors, right? Which in turn the regex to start at such specific places only. For example, suppose you wanted to know all the all the strings which start, all the words which start with a capital letter, or all the sentences which start with a capital letter, you can use anchors. We'll talk about that. And one advantage of using anchor is that you can narrow down yours to specific locations. So you see, this is a bit confusing. Backslash can be used to match special places also. They can also be used as anchors. So slash A will match only with the beginning of the string. Let me just clear this out and make it bigger. So backslash A will match on the beginning of the string. Backslash Z will match only at the end of the string. Backslash B represents the word boundary. Caret represents, has two behaviors. It has an anchor outside the square brackets. That means beginning of the, I think, sentence, right? And matches the string or line, end of the string or line. We'll do this. Don't worry. So this much, just I've discussed about the special characters, and I've talked about characters, character groups. Then I've talked about anchors. So even if these things are not clear, we just do a little bit of study on RE module, and then we come straight to doing the programming. We'll write a few scripts, and then things will become clear. Many Python libraries provide more than one way of doing the same thing. This often confuses the beginners. For example, the matplotlib library or the NLTK library. I don't know whether you guys have done it. These are very important libraries. Not NLTK, not so much. That is natural language toolkit. But matplotlib is a very, very important library for graphing. So if you study the matplotlib library of Python, you will find that the same thing can be done in more than one way. What are these? Is to create instances of classes, that is objects, and then use the various methods and attributes of these objects. So this is the first way of using regex or RE module. That means you create instances of classes and then you use the methods inside those classes. This will become clear. The other way is to not to create objects, but to use what can be called convenience functions. So these are the two ways in which the RE module is generally used. The first is by creating objects of particular classes, and the second is by using convenience functions. You need to understand that when you're doing a search using a regular expression, you have two things. I've repeated this: some pattern and some string. So you need to do a regular search using a regular expression. You need two things. You need a pattern which you're looking for, and you're looking for a string where you're looking for something like the needle and the haystack. So needle is the pattern and haystack is the string or the place where you're looking. So the item or the thing or the needle which you're looking for is the pattern, and the haystack where you're looking for the needle is the string or the where you're looking for it. You have to search for the sum pattern in a given string. In Python, the RE module can be used to look for some pattern given some string in two distinct ways. The first, now we are coming to the main actual this thing. So the first method is re.compile some pattern. And the return value of this will give you a pattern object. The return value of this will give you a pattern object. So a pattern object has only got a pattern, right? This is the first way of doing it. Here the recompile pattern method returns a pattern object. So once you get this pattern object using the sum pattern function, you can use the various methods and attributes of this object for doing searches and matches. Note that while creating the sum pattern object, you don't need the sum string, the same string being searched, but you have got a pattern object. Now you can provide as an argument. So just understand, I told you that there is a needle and the haystack. The needle is the pattern. So from the pattern, you create a pattern object. And the way you do it is by using the method re.compile some pattern. This will give you a pattern object. This will become clear. We'll just do the thing. The second way of doing it is you do not create a pattern object, rather you directly do the match using convenience functions. A number of convenience functions are provided, so you provide both the pattern as well as the string being searched to the convenience functions. For example, there is a convenience function in the RE module called find all. So you do re.find all, and within bracket you put first the pattern and then the string. So you put the pattern here. That means when you are using the convenience function, you are using both the pattern and the string. You are having both the needle and the haystack. But when you are creating the pattern object, you don't have the haystack, you only have the needle. You only have the pattern which you are using to create the pattern object. This will become clear. Any questions?
This find all function is very useful in deciphering type of activity also.
Very useful in deciphering the come again.
Any if you want to exercise some sort of deciphering activity of some code,
Yeah.
it can be very useful in that also.
See, where you will use it depends upon you. But if you're looking for a particular match in a particular string, then you find all the instances of that string in that all instances of that pattern in the string. We'll just hold on for a second. I think once we do the actual programming, then things will become clear. Just hold on for a second. I know you guys must be getting impatient to oh, this is becoming a so okay. This will become clear. Don't worry. So re.compile some pattern and the pattern in re the use only this we have discussed, right? You use only the pattern and not the string. So when you're using this I told you this is the technique number 1, where you are using re.compile some pattern. Notice that you are not using the string, you're only using the pattern, right? So the return of this. So the way the Python library works is that when you call re.compile, when you call this function, it's a function, not a method, of the RE module, and you give it as an argument some pattern, then down the line, this function will have a return something, and this something will be of the type pattern. So basically, this function is giving you back an object. The return of this function is giving you something which is a pattern object. And once you have an object, then you are able to use all the methods of that object to do various things. We'll do it. Just hold your horses for a few minutes more. So I hope this is clear. Yeah, let's do it. So okay, then let me just. So let's do this. Let us do the first script, then we'll become clear. So by the way, this is chapter number what? Chapter number 11 from my book. Chapter number 11, regular expressions. This is the chapter number 11, and it is available on my GitHub page. Just I like to maybe let me just repeat it. AG999 Git on GitHub. Let me just show you how it comes, so that for those who are new. So I did a Google search on AG999 Git. Let me go back again. So I did a Google search on this term. I did a Google search on AG999 Git, GitHub. I did a Google search, and then I got this Anurag Gupta AG999 Git on GitHub. You can see this cat. This GitHub has a cat icon. This GitHub, It's there, GitHub AG999 Git, you can see. And this is my GitHub page. And as I told you guys before, all of you should be on GitHub. If you guys are into any serious programming, if you're looking for programming as a career, if you're looking for for programming as your bread and butter, then you guys should be all on GitHub, right? Okay, so let's click this thing. I'm coming to GitHub. So now this has got what is called repositories. So these are repositories. This is one repository. This is another. This is another. This is another. These are the repositories which I have created on my GitHub. So you can see GitHub AG999 Git. This is my username on, this is my thing on GitHub, right? So within this, you click this problem solving packages. Once you do it, you will get these 4 folders. So a repository is something like a project. If you've done any programming, it's like a project. Then you have these 4 folders, one with the blue icon here, 3 folders and 2 files and a readme file. This readme file is MD stands for .md stands for markdown. This stands for markdown. Markdown. This is the opposite, or you can say this is a larger set of markup. So you have a markup and a markdown, right? So your HTML is markup. Your HTML, this is markup. And what you do here is markdown. So markdown is a very common technique of, in Jupyter notebooks also you can write markdown. I'll talk about that if we get time. So once you do that, then you click this book chapters HTML. And you will get all, then you will get all these chapters. Then right click on 11 and open in a new tab. And you will be there in that same chapter which we were discussing. So I hope this is clear. So let us come back to chapter number 11. Okay. So let us write this. So this first code I have done here. This is let us have a look at this. No, this one. So this is my first script which we'll be talking about. So we have the first is import RE. Then I've created a pattern which I call my pattern. You can call it anything. You can call it P. You can call it my P. You can call it pattern. Whatever you want to call. You can call it my_pat. You can call it my_pat. And this is equal to single quote / small w plus, right? So let me just break down this pattern for you. \w means all small a to small, this thing, it is this. So \w is equal to your character class A to Z, capital A to Z, 0 to 9. And the plus, if you remember, the plus in the front means 1 or more, if I'm correct. The plus, let me just confirm from the book. I don't want to teach you something which is wrong. So just hold on. The plus means 1 or more times. I discussed. So that means any number of these. That means any number of A to Z, capital A to Z, or 0 to 9. So this will match any number of this. So it will match 0 cat. It will match a cat 0. It will match 90 cat. But it will not match #cat. It will not match $cat. It will not match $cat, because these characters are not there in this. So that is clear, I hope. Let me just again discuss the code with you guys. So my pattern is this, and I've given in the comment, this is, comment. W / stands for word character. It includes alphabet small and big, and this thing, that means this, right? Now I'm saying my pat compiled. Now this my pat compiled is the return from this re.compile mypat. So I'm using the compile function of the RE module to create a pattern object. So I'm getting pattern object as re.compile. Earlier it used to give a class, but somehow nowadays it is giving re.compile / w plus. So this is what it is, right? Okay. So you might have noticed that there is a double backslash here. That means this first backslash is used to escape the second backslash, right? If it was not there, then it will not, this backslash will be not gone. Then type of my pat compile, it is giving class re.pattern. So let me just clear this out and just show it to you again. So my this print gave me this, and my this print is giving, type is giving as class re.pattern. That means in the re module, there is a class called pattern. That means that this, my object, my pat compiled, which I put here, it is an object of class pattern. Class pattern. Okay, so let's move ahead. Then let's go further. Then print pattern object my pat compiled. That's not a problem. Then this is done. Then use find all method of the pattern object. Remember, my pat compiled is a pattern object, and this object has got a method called find all. Therefore, when I write my pat compiled dot find all and I give it a string, what will it do? It will find all the words in that string and put it in my words. So therefore, I print my words, then I get, when I use blowing in the wind, my words, I get a list of blowing in the wind. That means all the white spaces will be gone because \w plus cannot match a white space. Therefore, this is the way I've converted a sentence into a list of words. So in your practical problems, if somebody asks you, given a string or given a paragraph, please convert that paragraph into a list of words. Then you can use this way. First you compile that patterns \w plus, and then you use that string as a this thing. You have given the string over here, and the return value will be a list. All right. And now I've given the second one. Now I've just, let me clear it out. So basically, I'm using find all in two places. Here also I'm using find all, and here also I'm using find all. Here I'm using find all with the sentence blowing in the wind, right? And here I'm using find all with hash he star blowing in the wind. So here also you have noticed that the output my words is not containing the, see, this is the sentence, this is, I have simply here, and the output does not have the, it has the hash, and the star is gone from the list in the output. The star and the hash both are removed from this because \w plus will not match a hash, and it will also not match a star. So if this is clear, then we can move ahead. So anybody has any question, you can ask me now. Anyone? If nobody has a question, then somebody can say that everything is clear, then we can move ahead. Yeah.
Sir, we can move ahead, sir.
Okay. Okay. So I wanted to show you guys a little bit about the source code, right? So it's, even though it's not really, yeah. So if you, I don't know, should I discuss, because you guys are not into hardcore programming, but if you see this, let me just So this is the re.py file on GitHub. This is re.py. And I am at line number 204. And the way to do that, if I want to create a link, like when I did a click over here, then I copied the permal link. And if I put it in a new window, in a new tab, then you will see that this, and I run it, this L204 comes. Just to give you an idea about how GitHub runs. Anyway, so you can see that this will not go into this, but the more important thing is that I wanted to show you something else on this. Right. So this is, let me just show you on GitHub. You can see all Python libraries and all Python, all Python modules and libraries are available on your computer also. Let me show you how. So suppose I do compile and I do /tab, then this is the path to the RE library. So if I copy this, Control C, are you guys able to see? This is, I did a tab, a shift and a tab on the compile. So what I did, I put my cursor here and I pressed the shift and the tab and I got this whole thing. So this is the path to the RE module on my computer. C/program data /anaconda 3 /lib re.py. I can take you guys there. Let me do it. So just to bring you guys on board. So let me open a new tab. Let me so here you can see that this is my wait. So this is my, so I am here in this, I am here, C program data anaconda 3 library. And in that library, there are a number of folders. In that folder, there are a number of other folders. And somewhere down the line, I will see re.py. Yeah, here it is. re.py. If I open it, you should not open your, because you can easily corrupt it. Then I can edit it with Notepad. And then you can see this file is here. And you see now, if you notice that this is the top part of the, which is with hashes from here till here. This is this thing, just ignore it. And then there is a raw string starting with triple quotes. So from here right down to the.
So you told us that this.
Can I just call you in half an hour? Yeah, please carry on. Yeah.
So, excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
So you told us while explaining the previous classes that these are for stand for docstring when you were just teaching us some methods.
Correct. So this is the docstring of your RE module. So let me do it. Let me show it to you. If I do this, let me put a cell above and I write. And I do a tab. It should work.
Underscore docstring__.
Let's see.
Yes, sir.
We got it, right? So this is the docstring of the module. And this whole thing is exactly like support for regular expression, double N, a backslash and backslash. This is something exactly what you're seeing over here. And this is exactly what you're seeing over here. The support for this thing, backslash, right? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Sajal Jan, right? Okay, that's clear. Okay, fine. So we got lost. Yeah, that is the disadvantage of anyway. So where were we? Let me just recollect. So we have done this. Now this is the explanation I've given in my book. In my book, what I've done, I have put, if you read my book, I put line numbers over here, and then I've given the explanations so that you can understand. So line 2, this line, I'm telling the backslash W means any word character, which usually means alphanumeric letters, this thing, plus underscore. So W plus will repeat the pattern, hence will search for any word, right? And line 3, here the pattern object has been created um, using the compile function of the re module. This object has a number of methods available to it, including the find all method used in line 4. This is the find all method. This is find all method. You can check the type of this thing by running the code below. Now it is, see, this you can try out. You can check it out, and let's move ahead. Let us come back to this thing. Yeah, and you can see the signature of find all also. I showed you. You can see the signature. Suppose you do now. Just I'm showing you. I'm clicking in this. I'm clicking here. I'm clicking here. I can't show you the click, but this, and then when I click and I press the shift and the tab, and I do it twice, thrice, 4 times, then I get the docstring of the find all. The one I showed you was the docstring of the RE module. Now I'm showing you the docstring of the find all. So it returns a list of all non-overlapping matches in the string, right? And if one of, so forget about these groups and all that. So basically, this is, in case you guys are lost, you can always do a shift tab and you will be able to see the thing. So that's it. Okay. Okay. So we are now let's talk about, see, now remember that we are talking about the pattern object. We have not used the convenience function so far. We have only spoken about the pattern object. Now we'll talk about the two methods, the match and the search method of the pattern object, which create a match object. So from the pattern object, suppose you create a pattern object, let's call it my pattern, and then I do dot match, and I give it some string to match. Then the return of this will be a match object. The return of this function, because this function will have some return value, and whatever goes back to this variable will be a match object. That means it will have, it will be an instance of the match class. All right. So is it clear? But note, it will be a match object if there is a match. It will be a none if there is no match. So let me repeat again. So what you did, you create a pattern object. Let's call it pat_ob by using re dot compile with the pattern. So you're giving the pattern. You're not giving the string. You're giving the needle. You're not giving the haystack. So once you have got the pattern object, then you take the pattern object and then use the match function, giving it the string in which you are looking for that particular pattern, and the return will be a match object. So there are two objects, a pattern object and a match object. The pattern object is created by the compile function. The match object is created when you use the match method on the pattern object. Does it make sense? Any questions? It might be a bit, objects, but that's what object-oriented programming is all about. So if nobody has a question, let us do it with an example, right? So let us do this. This I've already copied here. Yeah, let me run it. So let us see this code. So I have taken, let me just do it a bit bigger. Okay. So basically, this T1 I've used because it's a tuple. It's a tuple of 3 items. CATS cats, CA and A space cat. I've used R in front of them. You don't have to, because none of them contain backslash and those things. But it's a good practice, programming practice, to use R or a raw string wherever you don't want the string to have any other meaning except the characters in it. Now I'm doing pat is equal to pattern cat, right? I'm saying RE dot match. Okay, now this is, I'm sorry, this is a different code. Right, wait. Right. I'm so sorry. Now this is a different, this is now we are using the match convenience function. So we are doing the other way of doing it. That means we are not creating the pattern object, but rather we are using re.match. We are not doing re.compile using the pattern. Rather, we are doing re.match, and we have to give it two attributes. We have to give it the pattern or pattern, and we have to give it the string. That means we are doing both the things together, and the return of this will be also a match object. So what I'm doing here is that I'm writing M object, but this is a bad way of writing. I should write M underscore object, because these are M object is equal to RE this thing, and print bool match object. So this loop will run how many times? Can someone tell me how many times this loop will run? This loop will run 3 times. Why 3 times? Because this tuple has got 3 items: cats, CA, and a cat. So for each item, for S, let me just clear this out. So this tuple has got 3 items. So S will iterate over. First will take cats, then it will take CA, then it will take this. So when it takes cats, then RE match pattern, which is cat will be matched with cats. So, and then I'm asking you to print bool of the M object. So here cat is matching with cat, so the bool will be a true. In the second iteration, let me clear it again. In the second iteration, I am matching the pattern with the second item in the tuple, which is a CA. So I'm matching cat with the CA. This will not match, and therefore the bool of the M object will be a false, because M object will be a none. I told you, if there is no match, then M object is a none, and bool of a none is a false. Okay, and then again the same thing also. So is this clear? Is this clear? Now let me stop here for a minute.
Yes,
Because
sir. But why is it showing false for cat in a cat just because it's not starting from cat?
That's right. That's right. My pattern is not containing any special characters. It is a simple match. It has to match with anything which starts with a cat. It can be cats, it can be cat-like, it can be cat space-like, whatever. Right? It will match. But if it is a cat, it will not cat match. If it is the cat, it will not cat match. Is it okay?
सर इसमें तो फिर जैसे हम जो कैरेट था वो यूज कर सकते थे ना, जैसे जो कैरेट आपने बताया था स्पेशल कैरेट,
that carrot use कर सकते हैं. Carrot would mean the beginning of a sentence.
हाँ, beginning of a sentence, just
right.
like cat.
Yes, you can do it. You can try all those things on your own. I am not going to, because it's a very complex kind of a topic, and I can easily go wrong. So I just cover the broad. I am not going to spoon feed you guys with every single detail, right? I will tell you the broad principles. I'm telling you about the the basic fundas of the programming. I'm telling you about the, I'm telling you about, oh shit. I'm telling you about the objects. I'm telling you about classes, and I'm telling you about these things. You try it on your own, then you can just whatever you want to do, you guys can do, right? So let us. Is it clear? Okay. So let's
Yes, sir.
move. Okay. So this is another one. And see, earlier we did a match, and we gave it a pattern and a string. Now we are doing a search, re.search. And again, we are giving it a pattern, a pattern and a string. See, notice this is also a convenience function. We are not creating any pattern object. We are simply creating a match object. Notice that I'm repeating that when we did, if we were doing the first way, which was using re.compile, so compile was having only one attribute, which was the pattern. And once I get this pattern object, then I was using this pattern object, and then I was doing pattern dot match, or, and then I give the string or pattern, my pattern dot search, and I'm giving the string. So I'm giving the, first I'm giving it the pattern, and I create the pattern object, and then from the pattern object I use match and search. This was the first way of doing things. But right now we are doing the second way of doing things. Here what we are doing, I have shown you about re.match. Now this second script is about re.search. So the difference is that this will find the, this will find if the pattern is there anywhere in the string, then it will find it, right? But had I used re dot c, the sentence is the cat is in the tree. So this sentence is not starting with cat, it was starting with the, but right. But since we are using the search method, it will be able to find this cat in my string. But had we used the match method, or rather the then this would not have been found, because this sentence has to start with the cat for the match method to give a positive output, or to give a. Is this clear? Yeah.
So clear.
Yeah. Okay. So and then you see, this is a typical way of how we write Python. So if my match, see, if they match, if there is a match, then this will be a match object. If they don't match, then this will be a none, right? So if none, in case they don't match, this will not be printed. Then this will be printed. I'll show you. Let me just let me remove this cat. Let me put dog. So now what is happening? So now what is happening? This pattern cat, this pattern is not found in this string. That means this cat, which is here, is not in this, right? In fact, I can show you that that my match will be a none. I can show you. I can just, let me do it. Print my match. It is a none. So you can see that this print statement is giving a none, right? Okay. So I hope this is clear that the search and the match methods, convenience functions, not methods, convenience functions of the RE module, they will return a none in case there is no match or a search, and they will return a match object in case there is a. I can show you that also. Let me type. Let us see what is the type of my match. It is none here, but suppose I put C, just C. Since my sentence contains dog and not a cat, therefore I'm getting a none type. But suppose I make this a cat again. Now let me run. See. Now what I'm getting? Now I'm getting re dot match. That means it's a match object. So therefore, this type of my match is a match object. And this match object, if you want to go to the source code of the match object, you will see something like class match colon maybe, and then somewhere down you will find this method search def search something, right? So that is why when you create an object of this class, you can, and if that object is called say my match, then my match dot search can then be used on this object. Is this clear? Anyone? Because these are important concepts. If you understood this, then you are good on your way for learning for programming.
Yes, sir. Sir, apart from object-oriented programming, we can use any function from other library to find string in a pattern. Apart from using object program, OOPS programming in Python, we can do modular function to find the pattern.
I have not done it. I can't answer this because I've never tried this. Because if there is a straight road between X and Y, then why should I go for a roundabout way? Unless I'm just trying to test it out. I've not tried it, but you see, Python is an object-oriented programming. Everything in Python is an object. Everything, even functions are objects. Even classes are objects. So I don't know why anybody would want to do a non-object-oriented way of doing it, but you can use other libraries. And you see, if you have some library which does, you might have some higher end libraries which are doing, these kind of things which are being done by the RE module. But under the hood, there would be what is called a wrapper around the word they use is wrapper. So you might have some. Let's say you develop a library called my library, and you develop this library. So and you have a function which can match things. You call it my function, and then inside this function you might write re dot search whatever. So therefore, my function is actually like a wrapper for you for this basic RE function. I don't know whether you can do it in the non-object oriented programming way, but it is going to be pretty complicated because then you have to write all these functions on your own, or you have to develop them in. I don't know. I have not tried it. I can't answer that.
Okay, fine, sir.
But the other things which I am saying, I hope that is clear to you guys. So we can just move ahead. It's already 10. I think we are going very bit slow today. So, but okay. So convenience functions we spoke about. मैं आधे घंटे में कॉल करता हूँ, ठीक है? So okay, so now see, if you remember earlier, I did the find all using the pattern object. I can show it to you. This we did it earlier. Yeah. So here what I did was, is it visible? Let me just make it bigger. So here what I did was I used this sentence blowing in the wind, and I first created a pattern object by using re.compile, and then I used the find all method of this thing object, and I got blowing in the wind. This was the first way of doing it, first method, right? But now I am showing you the second method. This is the second method. Let me just run it for you guys. So, this will run here. Find all. Wait, I've got it. We just copy it. I don't know where it is, but let me just insert a cell above this. Let me just and let me run it. So I've done the same thing using a different technique. So what I've done, I've used the find all convenience function of the RE module and I've given it two items. I've given it the pattern and I've given it the string. The pattern is this and the string is this. And I again get the same output. So this is, I'm using those, so find all is also a convenience function of RE. Is this clear to everybody? Right? So let's move ahead. Any questions you can ask me? So this we have done. This we have done. This we have done. Okay. Okay. Let us do this also. Let me explain this code to you. Let me run this. So what I'm doing over here, here again, I'm using the pattern object. So sometimes I'm using the pattern object, sometimes I'm using the convenience function. So what I'm doing is re.compile boy. Then this my pattern is the pattern object. Then on the pattern object, I'm calling the match function boy, girl, boy. Boy, girl, boy. And right, I write pattern found, right? Because it is beginning with a boy, right? But suppose I write girl here, then I get pattern not found. Then you see the pattern is not found because this is beginning with the boy, but we are looking for a girl, right? But suppose now I do search. Then again I get pattern found. So therefore, the search convenience function is able to locate this girl between this boy and this boy. Pattern found. Is that clear? This is the difference between the match and search. Any questions so far?
So this name match is not a sufficiently incorrect name for the functionality which it is doing.
Why so?
Sir, in a pattern, if I'm trying to match,
Yeah,
it is just if it is matching in the start,
that's right.
it is saying okay.
Yeah. But
Neither the whole pattern is being matched.
so what do you suggest the name? Start or what? I don't know. You could have, yeah. I mean, that's the way you
Match
think.
initial.
But the person who has written this library seems to think that something match means something which begins with that pattern. That's the way it is, right? So that's the way it is. Whoever has written this library has thought that match would mean the exact characters which start the sentence. All right. Okay. This we have done. So these are basically all variations of the same thing. Let me just run this also and I will show it to you how what it is. So basically here again I'm using the pattern. So my P is a pattern object. Then when I do type this, I get class here. It's a pattern object. That is why I get pattern. You can see re dot pattern. So my P is a pattern object. Then my P dot match boy, girl, man. So my M will be your match object. So when I write my M dot this thing, I get match object at this, right? Then I write bool I am, it comes to be true because match object is not, because there is a match. So my M is not a none. Now I'm saying this is the second match I'm doing, girl, man. So boy is not there. Therefore, my M here will be a none. That is why I get my M to be a none and the bool also gives a false. So is that clear? Any questions?
Yes, sir, clear.
Okay. All right. Okay. Note that the search method of the match object can be used to behave like the match method of by beginning the RE with the caret. All right. So I'll just show you the example. This I think I've done it here. Let me run it first and then we'll do it. So I'm doing a search for a R in abracadabra, right? So there will be a match because R is existing in the string. Now in the second line, I am doing a search of caret R, that means beginning with R in abracadabra. This will give a none because the return of this is a none. And then in the third, I'm doing a caret A in a string which begins with abra. So again, there's a match. It gives a RE dot match. So what I'm doing by using star A, I'm basically converting the search function into a match function. So meaning thereby that I'm getting the same output from the search function which I would have got in the match function. Is this clear? Yeah, any questions?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Another example of difference between match and search can be shown over here. Suppose my string is ABCD 1, 2, 3, 4. And I do M1 is equal to, I do A to Z plus. That means one or more times in the string S. So this is my pattern.
Sir, is there any way to search a character at last?
Yeah, there is. We'll come to that. Don't. It is given. It is there. Of course, there is. There are ways of doing it. We will show you. That will cover the concept of anchor. So I have not covered anchor so far. So once we do anchors can be beginning of a word, end of a word, beginning of a sentence, end of a sentence. Yeah, you can do it. So we'll talk about anchors. We'll cover it later on. But just understand this because you see, regex is a very huge topic. You can write a complete book on regex. So and I just also know only the surface. I can only tell you the broad principles. You want to go deep in it, then you have to do your own research. All right. So coming back, print M1. So M1, this print gives you this RE match object span 0 to 4. Right. So why is it 0 to 4? Now note the span, it includes the index of first, but not the index of the last. Not the index of the last. So span 0 to 4 means A, B, C, and D, not 1, because A is 0, B is 1, C is 2, and D is 3. Therefore, span 0 to 4 means A, B, C, D. Right? Is it clear? And why 1, 2, 3, 4 is not getting matched? Because my character class contains only A to Z plus. So this will not match 1, 2, 3, 4. This will only match A, B, C, D. All right. So that is why when I print M1, I get match A, B, C, D. All right. This is the M1 object's print. Then I do match 0 to 9 S, and when I ask print M2, then I get none. Why? Because it's a match. It's a match, and this string ABCD does not start with this thing. But when I do a search from 0 to 9 plus, then M3, I get a match again, and the span is from 4 to 8. This is at index 4 and this is at 4, 5, 6, index 7. So I get 1, 2, 3, 4. Any questions? Anyone? Is it clear? I presume it is clear.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I think it's a bit heavy. So shall we? Okay, I'll do this. Find all this last thing I'll do. Then we'll stop. Now, RE dot compile. It returns a pattern object. RE dot match and RE dot search. They return a match object. But RE dot find all, it returns a list. This is the way the library is designed. All right. So that this is the way, because many times, because it's a very common thing in programming that you need to convert a string into a list of words. So you simply do find all R boy in that boy, girl, boy, and this is the way it works. So when you do this, it will be myl will contain boy, boy, this boy and this boy, right? Both the boys are, so this boy, girl, boy, only the first boy will be found, because in this it will look only for one boy, not for two boys, right? And the type of this is a list. And the type, that means myl, it is a list. Right? Is it clear? Okay. So let us do another this thing. So this is a method convenience function again called sub, which is the short for substitute. RE dot sub pattern. It needs three things. Then substitution string and the search string. So pattern is the pattern you're looking for. The substitution string is what you want to replace the pattern with, and the search string is a string in which you want to search, right? So I've given an example. Let me run it. There are 50 people like, so let me run this, and it is giving, let me just, so what I've done replace all digits with star. Replace all digits with star, right? So what I've done over here, I've done the digit \d r with star. All right. So if I put 50 people in 20 cars on say 100 streets, let me run it again, then I will get, so you can see that this 50 has become this 20 has become this, and this 100 has become this. Right? Shall we stop here? Everyone? Anyone? So
सर एक चीज पूछनी थी
बताएं.
सर, अगर ये सर्च फंक्शन का या मैच फंक्शन का कोड पढ़ना चाहें तो कैसे देख सकते हैं?
You want to do it? It's there in this library.
Yeah.
So if you want to do, but you will not succeed, because these are the basic libraries of here it is. The problem is that this search function is returning a underscore compile function. So you have to then go into underscore compile. See, search, because search is simply a convenience function. So ultimately it is compiling inside. And then you want to go for an underscore compile. So if you really want to, really want to do it, then you have to do underscore compile. Yeah. And there are how many instances of this? There are 10. Wait. You can do. It's very complicated. It's not easy to do the source code of, especially in libraries, built-in libraries, because many of them are at the bottom using C or C++ codes also. So you'll not be. It's not easy. I've tried to go through the source code of many libraries. It is easy to do it for libraries like Request, like Pandas, like which are not the core libraries, which are written in pure Python. But doing doing a study of the source code of languages like RE, like list, like tuple, like dictionary, these are the core libraries. These are the core what shall I say, the core classes of Python. So most of them are written in languages other than Python, so it is not so easy. I hope that I have answered your question. Yeah. So I think just a quick
Yes, sir. Thank you.
feedback. So if we have you been able to follow what we have discussed so far? Because it is almost 1 hour 45 minutes, so I think we should stop now, and it's quite late. So we can do it the next time, and I'm stopping here. Okay. Good night to all you guys. All right.
Good night, sir.
Good night, Jai Hind, sir.
Jai.
Team, can you just be for a minute? This is Balaji. Can you just be for a minute?
Yes, sir.
Namaste. Sorry for the change in the timing today, because am I audible and visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So today, yesterday I was in flight, so I just messed up. Actually, my flight remained airborne for 1 extra hour because of weather condition in Chennai. So I just missed it. So I'm sorry for that. Yesterday's mess up. And today, Mr. Anurag Gupta sir was busy 7:30 to 8:30. So I said, okay, can we do at 8:30? Because I am still in Chennai. I can't take a session today. So I deferred it today by 1 hour. So my apology. But I hope that you all have enjoyed. There are two things. Regex is a very important concept for web scraping. And it's heavily used both in security as well as in open source intelligence. And regex are very confusing. Please revisit it. If there is a need for revisiting the video, please revisit it, because conceptually, if you are very strong on this, and the next session will be on one more day, will continue on the regex. So please focus on him. He is a thorough academician. He understands the subject very well. And he has seen the inner and outer boundary of every libraries. So many times he'll give you the boundaries. This is the boundaries, within the boundary, these are the things are there. And this boundary has already been tested beforehand. So there will be hardly any questions around that. Okay. So tomorrow, just focus on that. Tomorrow, I hope that it will be at 7:30. I'll confirm from him. Please do join. And if you have missed anything, please revisit the videos. because it's a very important, lesson, for regex. Beautiful soup request libraries are bread and butter for Osint. And it's a bread and butter for many other things actually within the cyber defense area. So spend some time learning little more on that. In regex, I have shared something in the Python book that I have shared with you all guys. I've covered two pages, 3 pages on regex, and I'll share some more information on regex today. Please revisit those things and videos once again, just to make sure you are absolutely thorough about it. Tomorrow, when you come to the classroom, do some homework. If there is need for searching the Bard and Google, please do that. Because conceptually, it has to be very strong around that. Then only you can move forward very fast. Okay. Any questions, any thought from any one of you, or any questions?
अनुराग सर की पूरी बुक गिटहब पे जो उनकी लाइब्रेरी है उसमें आज देखने पे लग रहा था कि अवेलेबल है. इज इट सो?
या इट इज अवेलेबल ना, गिटहब लाइब्रेरी पे है पूरी की पूरी बुक. एज ए मैटर ऑफ फैक्ट सारा प्रेजेंटेशन से अवेलेबल है. यू कैन टेक इट ऑल द प्रेजेंटेशन फ्रॉम देयर, बट बाय द बुक्स. देयर इज नो हार्म. 600 रुपए का कोई ज्यादा इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं है.
सर मैंने खरीद ली है, पर वो मूवमेंट के साथ हर जगह बुक रखना इज ए डिफरेंट स्टोरी.
हाँ, वो थोड़ा सा डिफिकल्ट, बड़ा भारी है, थोड़ा सा भारी है. मतलब मैं तो कैरी करता हूँ एक्चुअली. मैं अभी भी कैरी कर रहा हूँ. मैं चेन्नई आया हूँ लेकिन फिर कैरी कर रहा हूँ, क्योंकि उसमें बहुत सारे चीज कंसेप्चुअल प्रोसेसेस हैं जो बुक्स में के बाहर में अवेलेबल नहीं है, इंटरनेट पे भी अवेलेबल नहीं है. तो इट्स वेरी गुड टू रेफर इट 2-3 टाइम्स 4 टाइम्स. देयर इज नो हार्म इन डूइंग दैट. ठीक है. तो हम लोग जो है ना ओसिंट को थोड़ा और डीपर जाएंगे. पहले ब्यूटीफुल सूप कंप्लीट करा लेते हैं इनसे, ठीक है ना. आई नो दैट वी हैव ऑलरेडी रन आउट ऑफ टाइम. हमको 15 को खत्म करना था, 20 कंप्लीट हो रहा है. मेरे को लग रहा है 25 तक चलेगा ओसिंट का क्लासेस. तो थोड़ा सा एक्स्ट्रा टाइम बीच में देंगे हम लोग. और वीकेंड में इस बार मैं आई एम गोइंग टू डू ए रियल लॉन्ग सेशंस, ठीक है ना, सो दैट इट बिकम्स इजियर फॉर यू गाइस to really go through it. OSINT पे आप खुद से कुछ कर सकें ऐसा बन के जाना है वापस. You need to be thorough about OSINT before you go out from the classroom. So if there is a need for taking some few more weekends classes, I'll keep taking. I don't worry about it. I'm not going to leave you all before I finish the syllabus completely into it. Okay. But before that, learn the art of Python, because Python is the bread and butter. You can't rely upon any tool. Technically, you can't rely upon Python also. You should know the underlying principles so that you can write your own libraries, write your own protocols. You have to go into that dimensions, because still compiler is not in your hand, and compiler has come from adversary country. So there are a lot of learning is required for that. And then, instead of making the tools, instead of, operating the tool, you can write your own tools. Actually, you can create your own startup even. Okay. So Sheikh Altaf, क्या हाल चाल है? How is things?
Sir, lastly, sir, requested to please unlock the last 4 modules on Code Tantra, sir.
Yes, I'll do that today. Yeah, I'll definitely do that today. And then we'll open even the other part, which is the OSINT component is also there. Around 20 chapters are there, 20 days are there, 20 chapters, so we'll open that as well. And you can finish it in 2-3 days time, all the modules, and we'll do all the exercises. Every piece of exercise of that book, we'll finish that off. Whatever is there in Code Tantra, we'll finish it off. A request that please visit the Code Tantra, because Code Tantra is a prerequisite for getting your certificates. So if you are not visiting Code Tantra and you are not finishing the Code Tantra, reading line by line, and you are trying to skip it, at the end of you are writing all the exams. Even if you pass all the exam, result will not come up. So you have to finish line by line of Code Tantra. If you have not done it, please revisit. I have seen only 12%, 14% book reading has happened by you people. So please do that, because that's a prerequisite for your success of this course. Otherwise, you will finish the course, you will not get the certificate. After that, you'll crib on me, and I don't budge on that. Even if you crib, I'll not budge on that. Okay.
Whatever modules are pending on Code Tantra, सारे खोल दीजिए, खत्म कर सकते हैं.
हाँ, सबको खोल देते हैं, खत्म करते हैं उसको एक बार, ठीक है ना. करण, कैसा चल रहा है? सब ठीक ठाक? ऑल इज वेल?
Yes, sir. Good, sir.
ठीक ठाक चल रहा है ना?
हाँ जी, sir.
हाँ. काहे कि अभी जो पीजीडीसीडी का कोर्स में जो ऑफेंसिव वाला जब शुरू करेंगे ना, उस वक्त ये लाइब्रेरी रेजेक्स का बहुत यूज होगा, इसलिए आई वांटेड यू पीपल टू ब्यूटीफुल सूप, रेजेक्स और एक और चैप्टर बचा हुआ है वेक्टर वाला पोर्शन, वो भी हम लोग देखेंगे उसको। काहे कि getting time from Anurag Gupta is very difficult. I don't know how he's managing it. I'm really thankful to him. And we'll get some more time from him to go deeper into the vector side of it. Vector side बहुत difficult है, मैं बता रहा हूँ, और उसका इतना immense use है machine learning में, आपको हम बता नहीं सकते। So let's learn from the person who has written on it with so much of thorough subject. It will be great actually. Okay. चलिए, tomorrow we'll connect 7:30 में connect करने की कोशिश करते, नहीं तो worst case में 8:30 में will definitely connect, ठीक है? Otherwise I'll take the session at 8:30 tomorrow, one more session on Osint, ठीक है? चलो, all the best, bye.